Hi everybody. I just wanted to give you a quick introduction to some of the sentence types, some sentence variety, and some punctuation. So for this short video, we're just going to look at the three maybe most common ways to punctuate a sentence. So let's take a look over here. We've got this very top one here is just your independent clause. So that is basically a complete sentence. And as you can see, it's got a box around it showing that, I'm gonna lean over here a little bit, showing that it is complete. And then how do we punctuate it? Just with the period at the end. So that's really your most basic type of sentence. The next two examples aren't very different from this very first one. So these two examples here are just different ways to combine two sentences. And you might ask, well, why don't you just do that? It's the easiest, it's simple, I know how to do it. Couple of reasons. One is for variety. If the only thing you ever use is a simple sentence or an independent clause with a period, your essays, your writings are all going to sound kind of like Jack and Jane. Jack kicked the ball. Jane looked at Jack. So it sounds very repetitive and simplistic. The other reason is to show relationship. So if all you have is this very first version again, then there's not going to show any relationship or how those two sentences are connected. So let's take a look at this one. So we've got two independent clauses, and all they have in between them here is just this semicolon. So for the semicolon, that's a way to, you can put a semicolon, again, look, you've got, my hand disappeared, magic. You've got the independent clause with the box around it, independent clause with the box around it here. Not really anything changed from that one up there, except we're putting two of them together and we're putting a semicolon in between them. Why would we do that? Well, you can think of the period as the strongest one. It's going to really divide the sentences up. There's no relationship, there's nothing going on between them. The semicolon, you've got the period, but sort of a period, and sort of a comma. So it's not as weak as the comma, and it's not as strong as the period. But so it shows that there's not as much of a difference between these two sentences. So this sentence might be something like, I felt really sick last night. I found out I had the flu. Okay, there's a definite relationship between those two, and by using the semicolon, it's a little closer. There's not as much of a pause there. So again, stronger, that's going to mean a longer pause. A little weaker, it's going to be a bit shorter pause. And then a comma is going to be an even shorter pause. So here on the comma, it's not strong enough to hold these two together by itself. It's not as strong as the semicolon. The comma needs a little bit of help, and it needs help from these fanboys here. They're not in the right order for fanboys, but for and, let's see, we've got for and, where's and? Nor, but, or, so, yet. But, or, yet, so. There you go. If I could only spell fanboys. So here, again, is you want to join two sentences that are related. So you could have something like, I had the flu, comma, so I felt really sick, so I felt really sick. I was sick, comma, and I stayed home. So this is really showing more of a relationship between these two. And you can get into a little bit more detail, a little bit more nuance with this. So and is really just additional information. You'd use but to show contrast. I'm expecting this thing, but this thing happened. Or is really option or choices. It's not going to be both together. It's going to be one or the other. So it's kind of a cause and effect relationship. I did this, so this happened. For, that's kind of the reason it happened. This one's not used very much. Nor, opposite of or, it's neither this one nor this one. Not used very much. And yet is similar to but, that it's something unexpected. I felt sick, yet I still went to work. All right. thank you for watching this short video. I hope it was helpful, and send me any questions if you have them. Thanks.